Hey guys, how you doing? Today I want to do a quick video talking about sort of my least favorite retirement rule of thumb, and not because I don't think it works or is useful as like a quick calculation, but because it's sort of misleading, just like every other retirement rule of thumb, and I'll tell you why in a second. So the one that I'm going to pick on today is the 4% rule. You probably saw the video where I broke down how the average Canadian thinks that they're going to need $1.7 million to retire, and I broke down why I think that number is sort of way too high. Now, the 4% rule is very simple. What it's suggesting, and some people have suggested that maybe 4% is even too high. It should be around 3.5% or 3%, but let's just say that it's still 4% and that works. The rule says, let's say you can spend up to 4% of what you have in investments indexed to inflation throughout retirement and not really worry about running out of money with a really high likelihood, like in the high 90s%. So if you're thinking about this just from a simple math perspective and you say, okay, well, I'm going to need $1 million to create $40,000 of income in retirement. And so when you're thinking about your retirement planning and you're like, I can't live off of $40,000 a year, and I don't have anywhere near close to $1 million, so what the hell am I going to do? And that's where I find it kind of misleading, because oftentimes people forget about the other sources of income that they do have, and there is also the ability to sort of manipulate these things to allow your money to last longer, delaying CPP and OAS, for example, maybe getting GIS for a stretch or your entire retirement. But in the example I'm going to use today, you say, okay, I do want $40,000 of pre-tax income in retirement, so I need $1 million. However, somebody that's earned enough money to save $1 million is going to be entitled to quite a bit of CPP, and as long as they've been a Canadian for 40 years since the age of 18, they're going to get full OAS. Which means that, you know, in my case, I said, okay, let's say they get $1,000 a month from CPP at 65 and $666 a month from OAS at 65. Now they have $20,000 of income in retirement indexed to inflation for the remainder of their lives. So what they need to create to get that $40,000 is actually now $500,000. So, you know, that's where it's sort of a misleading number, because a lot of people don't realize maybe how much this other little pension they might have is that's paying, you know, even $500 or $1,000 a month. That's a huge actual, that value of that pension on paper is worth a heck of a lot of money. So when you take all of those things into account, you certainly don't need to be able to create that. And oftentimes a lot of people also think, okay, well, I need, you know, $1 million and get these 5% dividends a year, and I'm going to live off the dividends. No, you're allowed to deplete your assets over your lifetime. That's the whole point. You build them up and then you allow them to deplete, and you just try and make sure that you don't run out of money over time. So I just kind of wanted to say that's why I don't love the rule. I'm not saying that it doesn't work, but you need to factor in a whole bunch of other things when you're just taking these rules of thumb into account before knowing what you actually need for retirement. Hope that helps. Hope that makes sense. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and we'll see you again very soon.